All of those things take time, and you need to think of time as much like a cost of doing business as any of the things that you go to the store and buy. So today we're talking sugar cookie pricing. Pricing can make or break your sugar cookie business. Hey y'all, I'm Sarah Grace. I teach online sugar cookie decorating classes that teach you specific royal icing techniques to take your cookie decorating up a notch. Having a toolbox full of royal icing decorating techniques helps you to create unique cookie designs that jump off the plate or the screen and grab your customers' attention. I really believe in investing in quality and skill. So when you invest in growing your skills and the quality of your product, I really believe that your business and your profits will grow. Because high quality, extremely well decorated cookies get noticed online and in person. And when people notice how great your work is, they're gonna spread the word like wildfire, and before you know it, your calendar's gonna be full and your ideal customers are gonna be ready and willing to pay that premium price that your work is worth. I can't wait to meet all of you in the comments today. I'm looking forward to getting to know you a little better. Thank you again for being here. Merry early Christmas. So when I first started, I found that the traditional pricing model for how many people priced sugar cookies just didn't work for me. There's a chart, you've probably seen it. It's really helpful for a lot of people, and that may be the way that you prefer to price cookies. I'm not sure. I'm just here to offer my perspective and how I personally do it. This is just one other option for you. There's no one right way to do it. You just have to choose what works best for you, your business, and the life that you want to live. So there is a pricing chart out there that shows how to price cookies according to size and level of detail. I think it's from Sweet Sugar Belle maybe, and this works really well for a lot of people. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, look up sugar cookie pricing chart. But that didn't work well for me because I found that I just was needing to get quotes to people a little bit faster. I would have someone message me, hey, I need a dozen cookies for this party on this date. And a lot of times people wouldn't know like what level of detail they wanted or even what kind of cookies they wanted. They would just give me a theme, which is great. I love that. Because I liked having that freedom, that creative freedom to do what I wanted to do with that set. But I wasn't able to say, well, this level of detail is this much and this size cookie is this much, just because that seemed like it took a lot of time. I wanted to have a flat pricing rate that would work for every order I do because I like routine and streamlined. I don't like a whole lot of different variables. That overwhelms me. It gets me confused. I just like having one flat price that I start at. But having a flat set price that my normal per dozen set of cookies would cost was really helpful to me because I was able to get those quotes out fast. I was able to say, I offer 3 different cookie designs in a dozen. I was able to tell my customer quickly what I offer, how much that would cost, and they were able to make that buying decision really quickly, and we could move through the order process, or they were able to say no thank you and move on. It wasn't as drawn out an ordering process, because when you take tons of time pulling all that information out of your customer, spending that time in conversation just to say, that's out of my budget, no thank you, or I can't do it this time, maybe next time, you've spent a lot of your time and you haven't made a sale. And that can be really detrimental to your business because as cookie decorators, we know how valuable our time is because our craft does take so much time. It's a very time-consuming thing to do. So when I created this flat pricing structure of one price per dozen that I quote to each customer and can change, don't forget you have that flexibility, can change based on the needs of the customer if you want to. I decided to streamline my design process, and I have a video on that here. It's not very good quality though. It's one of my earlier videos, and I think it was filmed live on Facebook. So I wanted to walk through that design process and how that helps me with cookie pricing one more time here. And I also have a free printable in the description below. You can go to sarahgracecookieco.com/pricing chart. sarahgracecookieco.com/pricing chart if you'd like to check that out. I'll be breaking down the whole way that I design cookies, and you don't have to worry about taking notes. It'll all be in that pricing chart PDF for you. That is a free download. In my design process, I had always kind of just done whatever my heart told me to in the moment as I was decorating cookies. But I realized that if I wanted to have a steady, stable, predictable business where I took a set amount of time to make a dozen cookies, where I was able to charge a set amount of money for a dozen cookies and actually be able to come out with a profit from those cookies and not spend ridiculous amounts of time on one dozen, very little time on another, just be really inconsistent. I realized that I was going to have to streamline my design process. And I wasn't going to be able to continue accepting orders where I would make replications of other cookie decorators' work. So when a customer sends you a picture and says, I want these cookies, I used to take orders where I would do that. But I stopped because you never know what that cookie decorator is charging. That could be an $80 set, that could be a $20 set, you never know. So creating your own original designs is not only better for you as a creator because you have that creative freedom, but it's also better for your customer. When you are creating your own design, you feel more passionately about it, you're more excited about it, and it's going to show in the end product. So that's when I decided to make a policy in my business. And remember, this is your business, so you get to make the policies and the rules, so to speak, in your business. That means you also get to break them. You make them, you break them, you do what you want to do. It's yours. That's the beauty of it. So I made a policy that I didn't do copies anymore. I did original designs, and I charged a flat rate for 3 original designs in a dozen cookies. If they wanted more than 3 designs, I would absolutely be open to that discussion and change rates depending on what they wanted to do. But that's not to say you can't ever do anything but 3 designs again. This is just your standard, what you usually do. So in those 3 designs, I would have a simple design. This is what I call my level 1. A more complex design, but not the most complex. It's kind of a middle of the road. Think of this as like Goldilocks. There's the too hot, too cold, just right. This is the just right. This is the in the middle design. And then I would have a very intricate, more show-stopping design. So this was the level 3. So level 1, level 2, and level 3 designs. Simple, middle of the road, and complex. So in order to keep myself in a tight time frame where I was completing a certain number of cookies in a set amount of time, it usually took me about an hour to decorate a dozen cookies if I really focused and buckled down. I would use these 3 designs. And for my level 1, it was usually a simple shape, 2 colors or less. It was an easy technique. Now, my easy techniques may be different than your easy techniques. For me, florals are easy. So that was something that I used as a level 1 a lot. It was very easy for me to do, so I'd pop out a flower real quick, done, don't have to do anything else to that cookie, and it is simple for me. But if something else, some other design like a dipped marble cookie with maybe a little floral design on it, or a simple shape is something that's easy for you, do what's easy and quick for you, what you're comfortable with and what is fast. For that middle of the road, I might do an additional color or two. It would be one or two decorating techniques. I didn't throw the book at it, so to speak, like I would with that showstopper cookie. And just a little bit more complex, not quite as simple, but not quite as intricate as the level up. So whatever is simple and easy for you, and then maybe another design with it. So level 1, you've got maybe 1 or 2 decorating techniques. Level 2, you've got maybe 2 or 3. Level 3, this is where you throw the book at it. You do what you want to do. You really throw yourself into that beautiful, intricate design, whatever your wildest dreams tell you. But this helps you keep your creative mind in check, because as a creative, you know that sometimes you want to do those level 3 cookies. You get these ideas in your head and you want to do that, throw the book at it, spend an hour on it, design for every cookie in the set. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. With these 3 different design levels, I did an equal amount of each. So for a dozen cookies, I would do 3 designs, and I would do 4 simple, 4 middle of the road, and 4 showstopper cookies in that set. And this ensured that I felt like the customer was getting their money's worth. They were getting 3 beautiful designs. One was more simple, one was more complex, one was middle of the road. You know, they weren't paying for a super intricate set. It was still staying in the price range. When I finally stopped taking custom orders, my range where I felt most comfortable was around $45 a dozen. I live in a smaller area, so that's where I felt comfortable charging. So I felt like my customer was getting their money's worth. I put my all into these 3 beautiful designs. I spent the time that it took to do those, and I did them well. And I felt like my customer was really getting what they paid for. I don't recommend starting under $35. Whatever you do, start at $35 a dozen, whether you have a minimum order of a dozen, 2 dozen, whatever. I really recommend starting at least $35 a dozen, especially with the way the price of ingredients has increased. I started out much lower than that and regretted it. Starting at $35 a dozen and then increasing gradually is a great way to start getting those initial orders and eventually build up to a point where you're pricing higher. I ended up around $45, $50 a dozen, but a lot of people even end up higher than that. If you are booked out for a month in advance and you cannot fit any more orders into your calendar, that is a sure sign that your prices need to go up, and they need to go up the next order you quote. Do not wait. Do not make a post about it. Do not spend time agonizing over it. Just raise the price. You can raise it $5, $10 at a time. Don't feel bad when someone says that you're out of their price range. Everyone's budget is different, and that's okay. You don't have to feel like a villain. You don't have to feel like you have to be more affordable. You need to think of sugar cookie decorating more like a service-based business. You're not charging for the flour, sugar, butter, and ingredients that go into that cookie. You need to think about it more as charging for your time, because those ingredients might add up to $1 or $2 for a dozen, maybe, if that. But the time that you invest into talking with your customer, baking the cookies, rolling out the dough, cutting the shapes out, baking, decorating, making icing, bagging icing, picking out a color palette, designing, packaging, photographing, advertising on social media, all of those things take time, and you need to think of time as much like a cost of doing business as any of the things that you go to the store and buy. Your profit margin is not your money in your hand minus what you paid for the ingredients. Your profit margin is your money in your hand minus what you paid for the ingredients, minus the time you spent making those cookies. And this principle applies to any handmade, creative, any kind of business. It's not just sugar cookies. So consider that cost of your time. What is your time worth to you? What are you giving up to complete this order? And is that working for your life and for your family? Like I mentioned, the guide that goes along with this video is in the description below. It's got those 3 levels of designs laid out for you and the pricing tiers of how I would structure those. If you want a price per cookie or per detail level, I would say that those simple cookies, $3 a piece, middle of the road, $4 or $5 a piece, and extravagant showstopper cookies are going to be more like $6 to $7 a piece. And I've found the group Sugar Cookie Marketing to be really helpful when it comes to communicating with customers about pricing, because sometimes we do have to kind of explain to some of our potential customers why the price of sugar cookies is so high. You know, not everyone knows exactly what goes into this process, and sometimes someone will say you're out of my budget and that person's truly not your customer. You know, maybe you're just not what they're looking for, and that's okay. But sometimes you may be able to explain to your customer in a way that makes them consider you in the future. So definitely check out Sugar Cookie Marketing for that. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope that this has been helpful for you as you think about how you're gonna price your sugar cookies in your cookie decorating business. As always, leave your questions in the comments if you have questions about pricing, about sugar cookie decorating business, and I will try my best to answer those in a future video. Thank y'all so much and have a great day. Bye. There is a darn fly buzzing my camera and it is so irritating. Oh my gosh, what is with the flies today? Okay.